Peace, peace and love. This is author P.E. McCallum, better known as Pal Shadows, the General of the House of Hip Step. Salute to everybody, and we're back today with another good video surrounding my book, NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective, available on Amazon. And of course, this is a platform to promote the book and to dive deep into what the book is all about, because I wrote this book with a very specific mission in mind. And I think that the back cover of my book really describes, what the book is about and what I was striving to accomplish with the book. And right now, if you've been keeping up with me, then you know my book is being featured on the Star Report. The Star Report with Star, of Star and Buckwild. I'd like to say peace and love to you and salute to Star. And if you haven't got a chance, go over to his platform, the Star Report, check it out. It's a very entertaining platform, but I thank him for promoting my book on his platform, and that's the Star Report. So I wanted to start today's video reading the back of my book. Again, NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective. Get a good look at the back cover. The back cover was done by ROI Design Group. ROI Design Group. Salute to my guy Reese and Bethany over there at ROI Design Group. So the back of it goes like this. This expose is more like a journey through history. I thoroughly explore the origins and etymology of the N-word. I also consider this a memoir, a social experiment, and a daring attempt to delve deep into the psyche of American culture surrounding the struggles to correct racial and social injustice, white supremacy, and a horrible state of race relations we are currently experiencing in this country. My hope is that this expose provides some insight, knowledge, and a better understanding of the N-word, and that there is a possibility that in some abstract way, this can be another piece in the puzzle to help heal our nation and ultimately ourselves. And, when I say my hope is that this expose provides some insight, knowledge, and a better understanding of the N-word, and that there's a possibility that in some abstract way, this can be another piece in the puzzle to help heal our nation. Because from my point of view, racism, white supremacy, the advent of it, the existence of it, has created a lot of turmoil in our country. It's created a lot of, and I'm just going to speak for being a black and indigenous man, right? And I do say black in quotation marks, and I go into that in the book of why I put black in quotation marks. Have you looked up the definition of the word black? That's your assignment for today, is to go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary and read the definition, the English definition of the word black. You will be thoroughly surprised. But speaking as a black and indigenous man, I can only speak for myself and say that I have been a victim of racism and white supremacy. There's been situations where other people were around. There's been situations where no one was around but myself and the perpetrators. I remember when I was about 8 years old, somewhere around there, my cousin and myself were taking a walk through the neighborhood in my great-grandmother's neighborhood in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And this is around UTC, the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga area. We lived right downtown, or right next to the campus, 2 blocks from the campus. And exactly one block over and behind my grandma's house, my great-grandmama's house, there were like fraternity row, what you would call like fraternity row. All the fraternities and sororities had their big houses on this street. So me and my cousin would just walk the neighborhood at times, and being kids. My cousin was 2 years older than me, and a group of so-called white teenagers. They looked to be teenagers, but they were obviously college students. They came from one of the frat houses. They came from the porch of a frat house as we were walking by, and they started yelling at us, and hey, get over here! Look, get over here! Come here! And then they started chasing us, and while they were chasing us, they were calling us, hey, get over here! N with the hard R, and I'm not gonna say it in this instance, but and I do use the N word on this channel, but only for research and scholarship purposes. But I'll refrain in this situation. But they was yelling like, get over here, hey, N word, hey, with the hard R. And of course, this really scared us. This really, or we were fearful, and we ran all the way back home. And the thing about that is that that was nothing. That was, I've been racially profiled by the police for doing absolutely nothing other than being black and indigenous more times than I can count on my hand. Matter of fact, the most recent incident was a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I was traveling on Interstate 24, and 2 state troopers pulled out after I rode past them. They were in the cut. After I rode past them, they pulled out, and then they it was so obvious. They pulled out, and then they got next to me, and the one got right next to me, and as he was getting next to me, he got right next to me, and he looked at me. Yeah, he's black. Pulled back, got immediately behind me, and threw the lights on me, and the 2 pulled me over for absolutely nothing. He said that I swerved in my lane, not out of my lane, but I just want to know, how do you swerve in your lane? If you stay in your lane, that's not swerving. It's swerving when you go in and out of lanes. Because if you're in your lane, your car is not going to go perfectly straight. It's going to, obviously. I did end up victorious in that situation. They wanted me to get out the car. I did not comply with that respectfully. And they were asking me to do things that I disagreed with, and I did not comply respectfully. But that's just one instance where I'm telling you that, as a black and indigenous person, I've been a victim of racism and white supremacy. And I want to end today's video with a poem that appears in my book. And this poem is called Call Me a NGR. All right. And this can be found in my book. What does the NGR, what does it mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective, available on Amazon. And yeah, fam, like I was saying, that last description, these are the situations and circumstances that happen to us that we have to heal from as black and indigenous men and women. It hasn't just happened to myself, but it's happened to a lot of people. But I like to just read this poem before we end the video. And this poem can be found on page 209 in my book that I encourage all of you to get, in paperback, audiobook, and also Kindle. Call me an NGR. Call me a nigga, and I'll remember to be the bigger man. January to December, spring to winter. Enter into the zone of my mind. Let's go way back in the time when the definition of nigger was more kinda like something divine. Emperor, ruler, king, queen, god, or goddess, something like that. But down the line, through the Greeks' grapevine and the fine wine of Italy, moving through the linguistics of European culture up to the English and British, but from Kemetic and Kushite humble beginnings to a rich legacy demeaned and diminished to mean nothing more than a fiend or something. Are you kidding me? Lineage laced with lords and love, replaced with lords of swords and lusts. Media frenzy, don't believe the hype. We crave more than Benzies and Benjis, the object of envy, the God blessed, the friendly. We see what you see in our community. Our hope is the strongest, our patience the longest, road to reparations, the road to healing from enslavement. The nigger belongs to me. I own it and hold him sacred. Historically hated, that's my ninja. I take control of the helm of the ship called narrative. Some find them offensive, others hilarious, others downright embarrassing. A word used for harassing and casting shame, blame, used to explain game just the same. From uttering it, what's to lose, what's to gain? What's in the name, my nigga? Peace. And that can be found in my book, NGR, What Does It Mean? An expose on the N-word from a hip-hop perspective, available on Amazon in paperback, audiobook, and Kindle. Salute to ROI Design Group. That's ROI Design Group, who designed the cover for my book. Thank you. Salute to the Star Report for featuring my book on your podcast platform. And everybody go out and get the book. I encourage you. You can control the narrative of the N-word after you read the book. If you're looking to heal from the effects of racism and white supremacy, or get on the road to healing, or begin to create solutions, my book is a great beginning. It's a great guide to begin that process, because it's not just history and etymology, but I also discover social issues, and I interview people in the book, and we have conversation. So we're going to heal from the effects of racism and white supremacy together. And I encourage everybody to get knowledge, because knowledge is what's going to empower you. All right? And remember, always spread love, not hate. Keep hip stepping. Don't let anybody stop your hip step. Spread love, not hate.